So later on today, Tom and I are going to be going to Best Buy because Tom's getting his first new computer in 5 years. So I'm going to probably be vlogging that whole experience of him getting the computer and then him getting it all set up and stuff, or just slightly set up and started and blah blah blah. So if you guys want to see that, leave a comment and I'll at least be recording it, and if you want to see it, then I'll have it up tomorrow or something. But anyways, hey guys, well, we got a match here to get today against the TheLightningFlare. Now, before we get into my team or anything about it, I just want to note his team made my fucking day. Because as you can see, he's got Azel, Flygon, Jirachi, Zapdos, Infernape, and Suicune. That is my favorite 4th gen team that I ever made. And that just put a smile on my day to see him using that and just be all like, dude, look at the team. I was like, oh my god, that is awesome. You know, because it's just whatever. But I mean, it'll make it easier for me to play around it. So I kind of feel sorry for him. But my team, I got a Nasty Plot Mew, Spiking Roserade, Offensive Porygon 2, Scarf Scissor, Standard Swampert, and a Choice Band and Haxorus. So that's my team going on. So potential threats from his side. Infernape's going to be a little bit annoying. Choice Band in close combat. TKO's half my guys. Mew doesn't have the survivability to really take on Infernape as well. So I got to make sure that maybe I keep Scissor and Swampert a little healthier, and then those should be able to take on Infernape just fine. But everything else, like, Porygon can handle most of his guys, and then Jirachi, I need to keep Swampert alive for that, so I just need to watch out for Infernape and Jirachi. Once I get rid of those, it should be an easy time for me. So I'm thinking he might want to just lead off with Azelf, because that's my standard lead for the team. So I was like, let's go with Mew. If he leads with something else predicting me to do that, Mew should be able to take on most of his guys. So he does lead off with Infernape. I know he's probably going to want to go for U-turn, just try and hit Mew, and in case I want to switch out. So I figure I'll stay in, predict the Jirachi coming in, predicting the Psychic move, so I'm going to go for Aura Sphere, which he does go into Jirachi. Doesn't do that much, so he is running a special defensive Jirachi, and he did say, after I saw the team, he was like, I am using a couple different sets, which I'm fine with that, but it's like, you know, it's just still kind of cool to see my team and fighting it, you know? But, yeah, going to Swampert, because best thing I had to take on the Jirachi. He Iron Heads, doesn't do anything. I'm like, alright, perfect opportunity to set up rocks. He goes into his Azelf, and I'm like, alright, this thing is probably still going to be Life Orbed in some way, but I'm not sure what exactly it's going to do yet. So I'm going to stay in with Swampert, knowing I can at least take one hit. I don't think he's going to have Grass Knot yet, so I went for Scald. He has a Nasty Plot, so I'm like, oh my god, if he Grass Knotted first, that would have been really bad. But luckily, he didn't, and he went for Nasty Plot, so I'm like, alright, I need something for Death Fodder. Mew is really weak. It could still pose a threat to his team, but I don't think it's going to really pose that huge of a threat, so I'm going to let it die. Sadly enough, I would have liked to have Mew, but oh well. Going to Scissor now, I want to just go for U-turn because I don't really care about Pursuit Trapping in, because I should be able to handle Azelf well enough. So I'm just going to go for U-turn so I can get better initiative on whatever he brings in, which happens to be the Zapdos. And, yeah, that's going to kind of happen. So I go into Haxorus, and I'm like, alright, he might not be running that defensive of a build. I'm going to rely on Haxorus' awesomeness, just go for Dragon Claw, because I don't want to be locked in for some reason on Outrage. I should have gone for Outrage, and Tom was right behind me being all like, why do you go for Dragon Claw? You're always supposed to go for Outrage, and you're right. He was right. I mean, that was a perfect situation to go for Outrage. All of his guys would have been 2KO'd by it, but then again, he could have revenge killed me really fucking easily, so that's why I didn't want to do it. But I should have done it, because now Haxorus is completely useless because of that Thunder Wave, and then I get the Parahax, which might have had a chance to kill it then if it didn't get the Parahax, but I'm just going to have to move on. Goes into Suicune now. I'm like, okay, on the Zapdos, I don't know what he's going to want to do, but I think that Rich should be able to handle the Zapdos. So I go into the Porygon and get the download boost on the Suicune, which I get in special attacks. That means I can just start firing off discharges, and I should have no problems there. So he actually is a subbing Coon, so I'm like, okay, that works. I can just discharge the sub away, and then the next turn, I'm going to predict him to go out to something to take a discharge, mainly his Flygon, so I go for the Tri-Attack to try and just hit whatever comes in. And it does a fuckload, oh my god. So yeah, bring it down pretty low, and he actually gets a Parahax, which is really unfortunate. I kind of want to see what his set was. I want to know if he was Scarfed or if he was running my mix set, but I'll never know unless he leaves a comment, but I am sorry for that. Anyways, gonna go into Roserade on the Infernape just because close combat is probably coming. I don't want Swampert to take it just yet, because I know it is a pretty good 2KO against Swampert, so I'd rather sack Roserade than my Swampert. I see it's about a 2KO, so if he wanted to, he could have stayed in there and could have taken out Roserade. So I decided to just try and go for Sludge Bomb, but he brings in Jirachi thinking he wouldn't be able to kill, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get to save Roserade for a little bit, but now I gotta go out to Swampert, because that's the best thing I had to take on Jirachi, so I need to try and start firing off Earthquakes and stuff, so that's kind of the game plan, or I can Scald it and try and burn it, and then just make it easier for the rest of my team later on if something does happen to Swampert. So he's going to switch out to Azelf, and I believe I do predict that and go for Scald. And I do. Or I predict to go to some predicting Earthquake. So that works because now Azelf is dead and out of the way. So that does work. So pursuing it wouldn't have mattered as much as it could have. Anyways, he goes out to the Suicune here. Just going to switch out to Porygon because I am at a healthy amount of health. And, you know, it's a pretty good check to the Suicune right now because of the Violet and plus the fact that he's subbing and probably won't be able to really get that many Calm Minds in before I'm able to kill him. So, he's just going to go right for Scald, knowing that going for Calm Mind would just kind of waste time. So, go for Discharge, and that will easily break his sub, and another Discharge would take him out. And since Flygon's out of the way now, he has nothing that wants to take a Discharge without the risk being too high because of the Parahacks, because then that just gives me better leeway against the rest of his shit. So he goes out to Jirachi, and kind of luckily enough, I don't get the Parahacks, because that would just mean that I can't burn it later, and having it burned I'd rather have than having it paralyzed. But, you know, Para would have been nice too. But anyways, went for Discharge and didn't get Para, and then he body slams me, and I'm like, wow! Fucking getting Para all over the fucking place, no! But go to Swampert now, because, again, best check to Jirachi there is that I have right now. And then I believe I just go straight for Earthquake because I was just like, fuck it. Let's just do it. Why not? He might predict me this time to go for Scald, predicting the Zapdos. So it works out because I go for Earthquake. And Suicune comes in, doesn't like taking it. But I can't remember if I actually go back out. No, I don't go back out to Porygon yet. I believe I stay in for one turn. I get Parahacks. Yep. And he goes for Scald. Does a good chunk, but I need to try and preserve Swampert like I said. It's way too important, but at the same time, it's like, god damn it. No, I actually stay in and go for another Earthquake. What am I doing? Why did I do that? I should have tried to preserve Swampert better, but a little bit careless there, but I'll get over it. But anyways, yeah, kill off Suicune, that's nice. But now he's going to go to Infernape, and I do not want to take this close combat, because sure, Scalds are one thing, but a Choice Band in close combat, no thanks. So I'm going to go to Haxorus, because it is really kind of useless. Actually, I could have used it, but I still needed Swampert more, so I had to let that thing go. But now I'm going to go into Scissor. I got to go for Superpower. Otherwise, if I went for anything else, there's too great of a risk of him just being able to easily win this game, so I had to do it. I really wish I could have gone for U-turn, but just the situation called for Superpower more. But he is going to go right out to Zapdos, which is like, god damn it. But, oh well. So, yeah, he has Zapdos in. I'm like, okay. Judging by the fact that he is Thunder Wave, I don't think he's going to have the HP Grass. I'm thinking he's just going to have Heat Wave for the Ferrothorn. So I'm going to go into Swampert, try and take this thing on. So he's going to go for Roost, which I believe I predict that. It's a fairly obvious thing because I'm just going to assume that he doesn't have HP Grass. So I'm going to go for Earthquake, which works because then that does a lot. And it looks like he might actually be a defensive Zapdos because that probably would have done a little bit more if he was special defensive. But, you know, who knows that I know anything at all. But he's going to go for Heat Wave now, and I get Parahax. And it's like, no, Swampert, I don't want you to take these hits. Fucking just kill it. God damn it. And I believe he goes for another Heat Wave, and then he crits me. And that really is stupid, because now Swampert's survivability is just going down the fucking drain. I go for Scald, trying to fish for a burn, and it's like, yeah, why? Why do you do this, Swampert? Why do you fucking suck at this shit? So, I'm going to go back out to Rich. And yeah, that download boost should tell me that it is a defensive Zapdos, so we already didn't confirm it. We did confirm it now. But Heat Wave happens, does a little bit. Gonna try and go for Discharge just because, no, actually I don't remember what I actually went for. I probably just went for like Ice Beam or Tri Attack. Or I could have gone for any move. The point is I didn't. And then he starts going for the Fire Punch to make up for the hacks. And I'm like, dude, no, don't do that. Why are you doing that? I hate when people do that. You know, hacks happens, and I got a couple pieces of hacks on you. So it's like, dude, no. So, yeah, I get a recover off because he was fire punching. I'm like, why'd you do that, motherfucking son of a bitch? So, yeah. But now I'm going to go into Swampert because he's just fire punching now. I'd hate to take hold of his generosity, but I know I was telling him, stop doing that. I do not want your fucking generosity because this is still a competitive Pokemon battle, you know, even though I'm using a shitty-ass team. And he's using my team, you know, it's still a competitive Pokemon battle. But I go for Scald as he goes for Iron Head, luckily break through, and I luckily get the burn. So now, I should be able to deal with this thing very easily, so that is a huge burden off my shoulders. So I'm going to go to Roserade, actually, just because I want to try and get a rest off, and then maybe I can use this thing a bit later. or just, you know, stall out some turns for the burn. And he goes for Body Slam, gets a crit, but no para, and he goes for Fire Punch now because of the burn. I should be able to take it, and I do take it, and then I get a rest off. So, Roserade, you might have a use later in the game, but we'll see, because if he locks himself into close combat at some point with Infernape, or I can try and use it for Flare Blitz fodder, you know, there's a multitude of possibilities that Roserade can be used for at full health, so it works for me. So now he's going to go into Zapdos. I believe I double switch out to Porygon, if I recall correctly. Yep, going to Porygon, because I'm all like, yeah, he's probably going to want to switch out because of the fact that Jirachi slowly dying from burn. He's not going to be able to really do anything to Roserade. So he has Zapdos in, goes for Thunderbolt. I get paralyzed. I'm like, no, motherfucking son of a bitch, mirror. Yeah, that's the sounds that I make all the time in my everyday life. But I go for Tri Attack to try and take him out, in case he wanted to randomly go out to Infernape for no reason at all, predicting Ice Beam, which wouldn't have made much sense. But I do just take him out with Tri Attack because I am an awesome Porygon, so that works. But now he goes into Infernape, predicts my switch out, goes for U-turn. I live with 4. I believe I try and go for Discharge because I'm like, let's try and paralyze the Infernape if I somehow live, which I knew I wouldn't live, but he over-predicts, so that works. Goes into Jirachi, does a decent chunk of damage, but now he'll just take me out with any move possible, and that is a dead Porygon. But now, his Jirachi is really fucking weak, so what I can do is I can go into Scissor, go for the U-turn to try and just take him out, which, why do I need to try? I just do take him out. So, take him out, go into Roserade just to, you know, lure out the Flare Blitz in a sense. Well, really, I just need to go out to something to die so I can bring back in Scissor. So I go into Roserade just to die, and Flare Blitz obviously takes me out. And just in case, I had this little scare in my mind while I went out to Scissor. I'm like, wait, he might randomly be Scarfed, so I'm just going to go for Bullet Punch just in case to take him out, which easily does take him out because it is an Infernape after all. Plus, if he wasn't, then Flare Blitz recoil would have just killed him, and I still had Swampert, so it would have still been my game. But now, that is my game, so good game, Lightning Flare. Seriously, seeing you use my team like that, at least the structure of it, it was fun to see, but it did give me a little bit of advantage when I was using the shitty-ass team, so that's kind of a thing. But anyways, that was fun, so GG, dude. Yeah, so remember, if you want to see that vlog of Tom getting his new computer, leave a comment below saying, yeah, we want that. LP part up later, blah blah blah, etc, etc. Rate, comment, sub, and later, guys. Also, I'm hungry, but yeah, rate, comment, sub, and later, guys.